Our Commitment 2010 coverage continues now with the latest News 8 Franklin and Marshall College poll.
Well, this half hour, we're looking at the race to replace U.S. Senator Arlen Specter. Specter, you may remember, switched parties to run as a Democrat. He lost the primary to Joe Sestak. Sestak now faces Republican Pat Toomey.
And that brings in our News 8 political analyst and pollster, Dr. Terry Madonna. First, let's look at who's ahead here. Likely voters responding to the poll favored Toomey over Sestak by 38% to 29%. How's this trending?
Well, this is pretty much what we saw, in August, and most of the polls have shown Toomey with a pretty decisive lead. And the way to think about this election, I think, is very simple. We asked people in the poll an interesting question about whether in their support for Toomey they were really standing against Barack Obama's programs. 50% said yes. We asked people when they were voting for Sestak, were they voting for Sestak before they supported Obama? 53% said yes. This is really replaying the national election.
Is this going to backfire on Democrats who thought that Sestak would be better to run up against Toomey because Toomey is very conservative?
Yeah. Well, or that Sestak was independent and not tied to a party.
Right.
The fact of the matter is, the way to think about this is, if you like the president and like what the president has done, then you should vote for Joe Sestak. He's a 100% Obama Democrat in the votes that he's cast. Toomey doesn't like any of the Obama agenda. If you don't like the president's agenda, then vote for Toomey. It's rare that we see in Pennsylvania such clear-cut choices. We have them this year. Okay,
you have another interesting number here. When it comes to motivation, Republicans seem to be on top with a 41% saying that they are likely to vote, and 31% of Democrats likely to vote. More registered Democrats in Pennsylvania to start with. So how's this shake out?
Well, this we've seen in every state, virtually every state, I should say, where the Republicans have what we call this advantage. It's sometimes referred to as the enthusiasm gap, and you've been reporting it, we've been reporting it for the better part of a year. This matters. If Republican voters are more energized, they're going to vote. And we talked about this in the last half hour. Why do you think Joe Biden was at Penn State yesterday? Why do you think President Obama was in Philly twice in the last month? Why do you think Bill Clinton has virtually lived in this state? If the Democrats have to get their voters out, Brian and Janelle, that's key to any victory the Democrats would like to have.
You know what else we need? We need an enthusiasm meter.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we have the horse race meter. We have the horse race meter. We ought to. That's a good point, because that matters a lot.
Like a decibel meter or something.
You
like
got
that.
it.
We'll work on that. Thanks, Dr. McDonough. Our Commitment 2010